Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another Ask Sarah. I had some kind of reaction to something, and so my eye is like a little like puffy, like swollen, and it's just kind of irritated. So it happened a couple of days ago, and I haven't been wanting to wear makeup or anything because obviously I'm trying to like not irritate it any further. And so that's why I hadn't filmed, but like who cares, right? I mean, I would give you the same advice whether I had a full face of makeup on or not. So I figured I would sit down and film an Ask Sarah video because I've been trying to do it for the last few days. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in, and if you're not familiar, you can always I'm gonna have to turn that off. You can always send your questions and your stories and all that to xSarahvargas@gmail.com, and that's where I pull the emails from for this video. So let's jump right in. I have read a bunch of them, and there are like so many. I feel like it must have been a long time since I did the last one because there are a ton of emails. Like you guys are really going through some things right now. All right, here we go. Hi Sarah, I love your videos and your honest advice when it comes to relationships and parenting. Oh, this already has a different vibe. All right. A friend of mine finally decided to dump the a-hole that she's been with for the last 3 years. They have a 2-year-old son that they share custody of. She has primary custody of him, and I can 100% say that she's an amazing mom that works really hard to support her child. He keeps threatening that he's gonna go for 50-50 custody and refuses to pay his child support. Yeah, he's that kind of dad. I think she's having a really tough time co-parenting, and I feel terrible for her, and I wish that there was something I could do to help, but I'm not really sure how to. Is there any advice for her or for me as her friend that might make this transition easier? Thanks for reading. Please don't use my real name. No problem. I won't do that. Okay. Well, I don't know what state you're in, but like here in Illinois, I just met with my lawyer yesterday. If you guys don't know or you're not familiar, I do have a 5 and a 6-year-old. And their father and I, we split, we broke up. We were never married, but we broke up about 4 years ago. And it's not really something that I talk about. Well, we did go through, you know, litigation, and we do have a parenting agreement, and we went through all of that, and it took years, but it was finalized probably about 1.5 years ago. So I'm familiar, unfortunately, with this world. Co-parenting can be really tricky, but anyway, my point there was that like custody and visitation, like that's not even like verbiage that's used anymore, and there's no such thing, like in the state of Illinois at least, there's no such thing as joint custody anymore. So he kind of sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking about, but then again, I don't know where you guys are from, so that could play into things obviously. But the biggest thing for me with co-parenting is it's hard. It's hard because ultimately I feel like we're constantly playing for 2 different teams, you know, like I'm Team Sarah and he's Team him. And obviously the most important thing is it's just the way that our kids are raised and our children, their well-being and everything. And their well-being is typically not what's being discussed because they're good. What we are typically sort of having problems with is stuff that's a little bit more personal, like, well, I need you to do this, or I need you to do this because this is what's more convenient for me, and well, I can't do that, I need a break, and da-da-da-da, whatever, right? Like, it's that kind of stuff. It's not so much the kids themselves. So my advice to her is to primarily focus on the well-being of your kid, right? Of the well-being of her kid. I don't know if there's a reason that she needs to have sole like primary custody. If she is the only one taking care of the child, you know, then okay. If he's not around to discuss the custody, kind of the way it works here at least is that if you have like sole primary custody, then ultimately you get to have the final decision when it comes to religion, meaning like what kind of church your kids go to or what they're practicing or whatever. You have the final say on that. And also schooling, you have the final say on what school they go to, and it doesn't matter if it's a public school or private school or whatever, you have the final say on that. And you also have the final say on anything like medical. So if your child needed, you know, if there was something awful happening, your child, you know, there was like, okay, well, we can do this risky procedure or we can do this other thing, and you wanted to do the procedure and the other person wanted to do the other thing, ultimately, it's actually up to you legally. So that's kind of where that's where the line gets drawn, at least in the state of Illinois. So maybe the custody thing is not as big of a deal. Like, as long as the kids are being taken care of, that's what matters the most. As far as him not paying child support, if there's a court ordered document that says so-and-so is paying this much child support every single week, then honey, if he's not paying the child support, that is something that he's gonna have to deal with. She will have to go to her lawyer. She will have to put the child support, get it all together, tell him what he's not paying, make a judgment out of it. That judgment will then go to, that judgment will then start like accruing interest, and then ultimately, if she wants, she can freeze his bank accounts and get the money taken out that way. She can take it, like have his wages garnished. She can straight gank that tax return. Like, there are lots of things legally. I don't think it's something that you can really help with. The only thing that you can help with is to be there for her child. You know, like, try to make everyday life a little easier if that's, you know, if you're involved in her daily life in that way. Otherwise, it's not really something that you can step into, and it's also not something that I suggest that you step into. The way that my friends help me or my family help me is by letting me talk to them about it, letting me vent to them, but ultimately, everything as far as custody, as far as any kind of, you know, custody, as far as visitation or anything like that, I mean, that's between me, my lawyer, and my ex. And that's where it's gonna be for her too. It's gonna be between her, her ex, and their legal team and whatever they have going on. So you can help by being there emotionally and supporting her, but ultimately it's not a situation that I would step into if I was you. Fat girl on Tinder. All right, this is gonna be good. I've been in a predicament. I love that word. I've been in a predicament for a few weeks now, ever since I made a Tinder account. I'm extremely insecure about my body, refuse to take any photos unless I myself am taking them from the shoulders up, which means that I do not have any photos that show my true stature and size. I have matched with a few different guys who are interested in me, but they are the typical run-of-the-mill skinny guys in their early 20s. Okay. Since I'm talking to them, they are adamant? Oh, she spelled it wrong. That one threw me off a little bit. They're adamant on taking me out on dates and meeting me in person, but seeing that I am so self-conscious, I just can't bring myself to meet them. I feel as though I'm almost catfishing them into thinking I'm somebody I am not. My biggest fear is that we will meet and they will immediately reject me. Sometimes I feel like I need to just come out and say, hey, I'm fat. But that would not help either. I'm extremely frustrated and I need in need of advice from the queen of advice. Thank you. No, I don't think that you should say, hey, I'm fat. Hey, by the way, I'm fat. Oh, we're having this lovely little conversation talking about meeting each other. Oh, BT dubs, I'm fat. Hella fat, super fat, I'm fat, right? Like, that's awkward. And also it's gonna show that, it's gonna show your insecurity. And obviously my first advice would just be like, okay, don't feel like that about yourself. But that's not just gonna happen. That's obviously something that takes time, and it's obviously something that you haven't taken the time to fix, basically. So my advice here is post the photos of yourself. Post real photos of yourself with your full body showing, and then see who's interested in you. What's the point of you showing shoulders up? I mean, if you think in your mind that you are basically creating a fake persona when doing that, I mean, how is that helping? If you're legitimately on Tinder because you want to meet someone and maybe have a relationship or have, you know, hook up or whatever it is that you're looking to do, then what are you doing? What are you doing giving them a small portion of you and hiding, at least that's what, you know, you're saying you're doing, hiding what you really look like. Also, I would like to mention that if I showed someone like you guys right now, if I only showed you from here up, right? Full makeup, imagine me on a regular day, full makeup, little whatever, little squinty eye thing, you know what I'm saying? If I was over here trying to be all cute, whatever, would you guys think that the rest of me was skinny? Like, would you assume that from shoulder down, right, from armpit down, let's say, the rest of me is a size 6 or something? Would you think that? I doubt it, okay? I look, hello, I have hands, I have a whole round face, like, I'm a little wider, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm round. You can tell I'm fat from shoulders up. They can probably tell that you are not the skinniest person ever. So a skinny guy is interested in you. That doesn't mean that he's not interested in someone who is plus size, okay? It doesn't mean like a skinny guy automatically wants a skinny guy. Also though, I don't know what kind of flavor of people are on Tinder. I don't know what the guys are like. I just see the screenshots and stuff like on Instagram of, you know, people saying dumb stuff and guys getting their little feelings hurt, and then they turn around and call you like a fat whore or something, you know what I mean? Like, I only see that portion of it, so I can't give you firsthand experience, but I'm sure that there are plenty of fat girls right here watching this video that have been on Tinder or have been on, I don't even know any of the dating sites, have been on any of the other ones, right? Match.com. Plenty of fish. Hold up. They're coming to me now. Nope, those were the only ones. eHarmony if you're fancy. Farmers only. Yeah, that's right. Somebody went in on me and said, I can't believe you're talking badly about farmers. Blah, blah, blah. My dad's a farmer. I'm like, bruh, I'm not talking nothing about farmers. I said I don't want to look like a farmer. Yeah, like, chill, okay? Chill, all right? I guess city folk really don't understand. The tagline was legit. Christian mingle. Isn't there one for Jewish people too? What is that called? I forget. But anyway, J-date. My brother just said J-date. I doubt that, like, I doubt that they freaking care or whatever. You're gonna meet somebody, right? Like, someone here in the audience has been on these websites, and you guys you've met people being fat, all right? Like, so don't post a video of yourself, or not video, don't post a photo of yourself shoulders up. Like, it's pointless. You're wasting your time, you're wasting their time. I don't know how much you care about wasting their time, but you're at least wasting your time, and then you're going through all this stuff. And you're right, you don't know how they're gonna react to you when they see you in person, because you have been putting on a facade on the internet. Like, be who you are and then see who likes you. What's the point of doing it any other way? Boom, shakalaka. Okay, on to the next one. Is my boyfriend attracted to me? Ha, let's find out. Hi Sarah, okay, I've been with my boyfriend for nearly 4 years. I'm 19. I'm now 19, so you got with him when you were 15, and I'm a different person than I was back then. I'm more confident and all in all just a stronger woman. Anyway, I feel as if he isn't attracted to me anymore. We rarely have sex. I'd honestly say twice a month, which I feel is crazy considering how young we are. We live together, but at my parents' house. All right, some very, you know, my parents would not have allowed that. No, they would have been pissed. They aren't home a lot. Okay, so I don't think that would be the reason he doesn't want to, but they're hardly ever home. I tried so hard suggesting to trying different things to spice things up in the bedroom. I've changed my appearance, putting in more effort, wearing more makeup, going back to blonde hair, since that's how I look for the majority of our relationship, but he's just not into it. He smokes weed every day, but he did, what? He smokes weed every day. Oh, but he did when we first got together, so I feel like that can't be it either. Like, he's too stoned to want to. That's what she said. He spends all of his time with his friends. I feel like he's only staying with me because he has nowhere else to go, and this has been going on for the past 7 months. I've tried to talk to him about it, but he just shuts me down. I've heard rumors about him sleeping with another girl, but he got so mad at me saying it wasn't true. He's not affectionate towards me in any way anymore, and we don't kiss very often. I love him, but I'm really starting to doubt our relationship. Do you think I'm reading too much into it? Thanks for reading the story. P.S. Love you. You have the best advice. Your kids are gorgeous and so lucky to have you. Ha! Thanks. I'll let him know. Yeah, you know what? I think you hit the nail on the head. It sounds like, dude, if he doesn't have anywhere else to go, I mean, that's kind of, honestly, that's kind of the situation that I was in, where the two of us were together, and we were like, we barely were able to keep our heads above water together, and we knew that if we broke up, both of us would fall, and we would both have to figure out like what we were gonna do and where we were gonna stay and how we were gonna support ourselves. So we kind of, that definitely went into why we stayed together as long as we did, because when you know that like ending a relationship also means completely like changing your life, having to figure out, obviously you guys don't have kids, so it's not quite the same, but having to figure out where you're gonna live, and like, I mean, that's a big deal. I wouldn't personally, but like I can see why he might be putting on a front if he doesn't have anywhere else to go. I wouldn't say that you're reading too much into it. Not that, you know, not having sex means that your relationship is just all jacked up, but if you guys have you addressed the problem with him? It doesn't say anything about you actually, like, it says you know, put more makeup on and you change your hair color, but I mean, have you told him? Like, have you talked to him about it? And I love when you said that you heard rumors about him sleeping with another girl and he got mad at you saying it wasn't true. Like, I saw a meme the other day, it said a dude can cheat on you and end up not trusting you, right? Like, that's exactly what happens. Like, they'll cheat on you and they know they're cheating and they know they're lying and they know it, and then they turn around and they act like they don't trust you because of the situation. Like, what? What? What now? I don't think you're reading too much into it. I think you're 19 years old, and why be in this situation? Why be trying so hard to spice up the sex life of a 19-year-old? Why? How? Like, what? What? No, dude, honestly, I would get the hell up out of that situation. I'd be like, hey, you don't want to talk to me? You don't want to spend time with me? You don't want to be with me? Yeah, you're over here mooching, living in my parents' house. You know what, bruh? Peace. I'm done. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go put some Beyonce music on. I'm gonna get all pretty and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want because I'm 19 years old. Why have these problems if you don't need to have them? You're not locked together. You're not married. You don't have kids. None of that. Psh, I'd be gone. Or at the very least, if you're not ready to do that, talk to the dude about it, ask him what's going on. Like, you don't need to approach it in an argumentative way, but definitely let him know how you feel. And then if he responds in a way like, hey, you know what? I don't want you to feel like that. I want to be in this relationship, da 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 da, whatever, right? Okay, go from there. But if he doesn't do that, I don't know. What would you guys do? Let her know. What would you do? Would you stay with the basement boyfriend or nah? Wait, you didn't say you live in the basement, but I can only assume that you live in the basement because that's like this whole time I was reading it, I pictured a basement boyfriend. Hi, Sarah. Hi, girl. My name is, I'm gonna leave it out. I'm 17, 18 next month, and happy birthday, girl. And have always had issues with my weight for as long as I can remember. My mother has had me on diets as I was fairly overweight as a child, and I've grown older and become more independent. I've developed my own eating habits. I don't eat the healthiest foods, and I know this, but I enjoy the gym a lot and go roughly 3 to 4 times a week. My mother's always been blunt with me about my weight, but recently I feel attacked by her, as she tells me that my thighs are huge, rude, and that I just need to lose some weight to balance myself out. She's recently lost weight herself, makes sense, and I'm now heavier than her. I almost feel as if she enjoys this. And I'm very self-conscious about my body in front of her and feel like she's constantly judging me. To make matters worse, my older sister is gorgeous, tall and thin. I'm 5'7" and currently weigh 12.5 stone, to give you some kind of idea as to what I'm working with. I'm really emailing to ask if this is normal behavior from my mother, or if I'm simply reading too much into this and she's just trying to help me. I feel that I can't love my body or the way that I look because even my own mother thinks that I need to lose weight. Sorry for the long message. Kind regards. You're so not American because you're so polite and nice, and I love it. I've attached a picture of myself at my current weight if this helps in any way. Sorry if that's weird. I'm on the right. She's not, I'm gonna cut your head off, okay? But I just want you guys to see, like, do you see what I see? This is her. Even if I'm crazy and she's the other person, what? Parents are not perfect, right? And parents are not always the most loving and easiest people to get along with. And I would say that's especially true, at least in my experience, since I don't have a ton of experience with a dad, that's especially true with a mother-daughter relationship. And I do think that your mom is probably coming from a place of, you know, love and concern for you, somewhat. But she's definitely not taking the right approach. And I think it's important to remember that our parents, our mothers, right, they're just people. And they don't know everything, and they're not going to say everything in the right way just because they're older and just because they've been through more than we have. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna know how to communicate their feelings any better than we do, to be honest. So it's really unfortunate that your mother's making you feel that way. I mean, my mother and I have, we have a good relationship. We have our ups and downs. We have our ebbs and our flows, you know what I mean? Like, it can be tough sometimes, and sometimes we talk to each other and I'm like, I can't, and I know she feels the same way. But then, you know, we're able to get over it. But if my mom was doing that to me, then I would tell her something. I would tell her, like, you need to stop. This is not helpful. You telling me, you trying to make me feel bad about something is not helpful. You're not helping. If ultimately you as my mother want to help me, then help me. Don't try to put me down, because treating someone badly and making fun of them or trying to make them feel bad about themselves, that is never going to get a positive reaction out of that person. I mean, the best way to treat your body better and to, to motivate yourself to work out, to eat healthier, whatever. It's not by hating yourself, it's by loving yourself enough, right? And caring enough to put those things into action. If you hate yourself so much, you're not gonna lose weight, right? I mean, some people might hate their fat bodies and decide, that's it, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I need to do in order to get this weight off, right? Because I hate myself so much. But I would say more often than not, most people that are sitting there hating their bodies and looking themselves in a negative light, they don't have the willpower. They don't have the drive. They don't have the courage to go and do what they need to do to lose the weight that they want to lose. Because instead of being positive about it and motivating themselves and feeling like, you know what, yeah, I can do this, I can do whatever I want, I'm gonna get this, you know, I'm gonna reach whatever goals I'm trying to reach, right? Instead of feeling that way, they're stuck. They're stuck on feeling crappy about themselves. They're stuck on only seeing the bad parts of themselves. They're stuck on feeling too fat to even go to a gym because they feel like everyone's looking at them and they're so insecure. So pushing someone to lose weight by being an ass to them, that's not gonna work. So if your mom is doing that, tell her something. But also, you're like 18, right? Which means you're probably not gonna be living in your mom's house like, you know, forever. I don't know if you're going off to college or university or whatever you guys call it out there, wherever you're from. I know you're not from here. But I would say something to her first and not, you know, not attacking her or anything, not trying, I don't know. I wish I knew more about the situation because I love talking about the relationships between parents and children, whether that be like me as a parent or me as a child, a child of a parent. I do really enjoy this sort of realm of things because I think it's so interesting, and as I've gotten older, my relationship with my mother has changed, and I've, you know, it's changed from being an adult and a child to an adult and an adult who happens to be the child of this adult, yet and still we're two separate adults living two separate lives, two separate families even. Well, I guess technically I'm her family and then I have my family and she is their family, but I'm raising my own family, you know, my own little unit. So it's a really interesting change, I think, that happens. Man, I would like to think that your mother is not purposely trying to make you feel bad because she just wants to be like an evil wench to you. Okay, I would like to think that she's probably doing it because she's trying to help you. Parents are not perfect. Let her roll off your back or be mean to her. I don't know what your, you know, what your way is with your mother. I don't know what your relationship is like, but you guys can let me know if you have any advice for her. And I think I'm actually gonna wrap it up there. This feels like a nice, quick, and easy video. I feel like my cheeks were getting really pink and then getting unpink and then getting pink again. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this laid back Ask Sarah. If you have any questions or stories or comments or anything, you can always email me at askSarahVargas@gmail.com. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more Ask Sarahs, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not. And you can always follow me on Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter. If you guys ever miss me, those links are always down below in the description box. So I think that's all I got. I'll see you guys later. Bye.